AoM gods in a nutshell. Amaterasu, goddess of the sun. Lighting the way for the new Japanese pantheon, Amaterasu ensures that you're gonna be golden, with her shrines increasing the content of nearby resources, and her Bushido tiers granting you free gold the higher you get. Even her god power surrounds the selected unit in golden light, granting them immortality for its duration. What's more, Amaterasu triples the passive Bushido experience that her samurai and onimushas generate outside of combat, and granting them health regeneration. Finally, Amaterasu's unique technology grants you a free Miko, and makes all of your Miku train and heal faster. With Amaterasu's radiance, defeat is cast into shadow. If Amaterasu sounds like the goddess for you, then try her out today in Age of Mythology Retold. AoM gods in a nutshell. Tsukuyomi, god of the moon and abs. As mysterious as the dark side of the moon, Tsukuyomi is all about its technologies. With a shortened age-up time and a god power that rapidly researches every technology from a single building. All the technologies also contribute to Tsukuyomi's Bushido, which boosts the damage of his cavalry and shinobi as you advance through the tiers. Beyond the insane timings that Tsukuyomi has at his disposal, he also gets a free kitsune every age, and significantly boosts the damage and line of sight of his towers. The light of the moon only reveals one truth: Tsukuyomi's victory. If Tsukuyomi sounds like the god for you, then try him out today in Age of Mythology Retold. AoM gods in a nutshell. Susanoo, god of chaos and the storms. Susanoo brings a whole new dynamic to Age of Mythology, with a heavy focus on god powers and myth units. Not only can all of his myth units use their special abilities more frequently, but they are also faster and deal divine damage through Susanoo's unique technology. Furthermore, myth units generate Bushido experience passively and through combat. Susanoo's Bushido grants increasing bursts of favor with each tier, allowing him to make more myth units or use more god powers. And every time that Susanoo uses a god power, all of his god powers become cheaper. Speaking of which, Susanoo's god power literally stabs his sword Kusanagi into the ground, sending enemy troops fleeing. Stand against Susanoo and you'll be swept away in a storm of divine fury. If Susanoo sounds like the god for you, then try him out today in Age of Mythology Retold. AoM gods in a nutshell. Nuwa, goddess of creation and the earth. With a heavy focus on her peasants, Qualfus, and defenses, to say Nuwa is a defensive goddess would be the understatement of the age. Her creator's auspice reduces the cost of peasants and makes her buildings tankier as you generate favor. Speaking of favor, Nuwa's buildings spread her favored land further, and they will straight up build themselves if they're on favored land. On top of that, Nuwa gets stronger Qualfu, and a unique Qualfu chieftain alongside a god power that just straight up spawns temporary peasants, enabling her to drop down town centers or baule in a matter of seconds. Once your impregnable fortress at the base is finished, take advantage of Nuwa's increased health on cavalry to steamroll anything that moves. Nothing is more inevitable than the goddess of creation. If Nuwa sounds like the goddess for you, then try her out today in Age of Mythology Retold. AoM gods in a nutshell. Fuxi, god of civilization, culture, and heaven. Fuxi ushers in the new and improved Chinese pantheon with one of, if not the strongest, armies in the late game. With a focus on soldiers and heroes, Fuxi's yin and yang bonus swaps between boosting his economy and his army damage. His heroes are also more durable, more spammable, and deal divine damage. On top of that, Fuxi receives Neja, a unique hero which gets stronger with each age, and leaves a trail of fire, perfect for area denial. Fuxi also researches 3 times as fast, and his military and machine workshop additions cost significantly less on his favored land. If all of that wasn't enough, Fuxi's Peach Blossom Spring provides a constantly growing stockpile, which is harvested ridiculously fast and can be swapped between any resource at will. Good luck gold-starving the god of heaven. If Fuxi sounds like the god for you, then try him out today in Age of Mythology Retold. AoM gods in a nutshell. Shennong, god of agriculture and herbal medicine. If you're an English main in AoE 4, or just love to farm, then Shennong may be your dream come true. His farms can be made in any age and are instantly built on favored land. Even Shennong's god power is all about farming, as Prosperous Seed supercharges his farms and even hides any friendly units standing on it. Shennong isn't slacking when it comes to his military either, with free myth units from the next age spawning at his temple as you gather favor, and Shennong's peaches granting them more hit points as they heal from his favored land and supercharged sages. face Shennong and you'll learn that nothing grows faster than defeat. If Shennong sounds like the god for you, then try him out today in Age of Mythology Retold. AoM gods in a nutshell. Zeus, king of the sky. As head of the Greek pantheon, Zeus is often the first god players try, but he's far from basic. With a heavy focus on favor, infantry, and some of the strongest heroes in the game, Zeus can easily take over the early battlefield with extra speedy hoplites that plow through buildings faster than you can say Heracles, a literal smite from the heavens for anyone even thinking of early harassment, and heroes that train so fast that their bodies don't even have time to vanish before they're dishing out pain once again. In the late game, just sit back and laugh at your opponent's tears as Zeus's Myrmidon dish out divine damage alongside Bellerophon, left, right, and center. That'll teach them for calling the King of Olympus vanilla. If Zeus sounds like the god for you, then try him out today in Age of Mythology Retold. AoM gods in a nutshell. Hades, god of the underworld. For being the god of the underworld, Hades is surprisingly chill, preferring to sit back in his uber-fortified base and let you come to him. That confidence is well earned, as his towers, town centers, and fortresses all have more range, and when combined with the bonus to range and line of sight that he grants his archers, and his sentinel god power essentially spawning 5 additional towers, you'd be a fool to try and rush this Greek god in the early game. Even in the late game, Hades reigns supreme, bolstering his myth unit's health, gifting his followers free gold through his vaults of Erebus, and granting them both free ballistics and burning pitch instantly on age up. Even if you manage to destroy his armies, they shall return as shades to bolster Hades' defenses once again. There is no victory against he who holds the keys to the afterlife. If Hades sounds like the god for you, then try him out today in Age of Mythology Retold. AoM gods in a nutshell. Poseidon, god of the sea. Do you love horses and cavalry? Then do I have the god for you. Poseidon is all about his cavalry, giving all of his horses, donkeys, and even myth units extra speed. He even makes getting your horse fix easier by reducing the cost of his stables and markets. Can't afford your horses? Then you're in luck. Poseidon makes all your deals at the market an absolute steal, and his god power, the lure, brings extra hunt and chickens into your base, ensuring you have all the food you need for your horses. Poseidon even gets a special seahorse to scout the waves. Is your enemy trying to kill your horses? As the Lord of Horses, Poseidon gives all of your cavalry regeneration and extra line of sight, and even spawns militia to beat back those horse haters. Show them why Poseidon is called the Earth Shaker. If Poseidon sounds like the god for you, then try him out today in Age of Mythology Retold. AoM gods in a nutshell. Ra, god of the sun. As the bird-headed embodiment of the sun, it's not surprising that Ra does his best to steal the spotlight from the other Egyptian gods. Quite literally, as his priests can empower buildings in the same way as a pharaoh, though slightly weaker. And when his monuments are empowered, his base lights up so bright you'd swear a flashbang just went off. Beyond just trying to blind you, Ra also has increased hit points for his mid-goal stronghold units, and a faster gather rate from berry bushes. Though, let's be honest, no one ever really uses this, as the Ra boom is all about his rain god power, as it provides more than double the food output of his farms. And when all else fails, turn your laborers into tanky boys with the skin of the rhino and rush your enemy's villager line down before they know what's happening. If Ra sounds like the god for you, then try him out today in Age of Mythology Retold. AoM gods in a nutshell. Isis, goddess of magic and healing. Isis dominates the battlefield through tech and infrastructure. All your technologies are cheaper, town centers give extra population, and obelisks go up faster for less. Isis doesn't slack on economy either. Her Flood of the Nile keeps food trickling in while prosperity supercharges her gold mines, letting Isis hit a blazingly fast second town center. But the real star is her monuments, which shield your base from enemy god powers, heal nearby troops, and even double your favor income when empowered. Your god powers won't save you against the goddess of magic. If Isis sounds like the goddess for you, then try her out today in Age of Mythology Retold. AoM gods in a nutshell. Set, god of trickery. Set takes uniqueness to the next level, as his kit completely bucks the typical for Egypt. For starters, Set is heavily focused on his barracks units, with all of them being faster. Beyond that, Set reduces the cost of his military production buildings, while also reducing the cost of all units trained near monuments. Set's priests also take a page straight out of Age of Empires, by wallowing every wild animal they see. Before you know it, all the hunt is already in his base. His priests being too busy to make obelisks isn't an issue either, as his vision god power can reveal an entire enemy base instantly. You'll never see the god of trickery coming. If Set sounds like the god for you, then try him out today in Age of Mythology Retold. AoM gods in a nutshell. Thor, god of thunder, lightning, and the skies. Be prepared to channel your inner dwarf's love of hammers and gold when you choose Thor as your major god. His dwarves effectively replace the typical Norse gatherers, being cheaper and far better than the standard dwarves. Thor's almost an Egyptian with how much he loves gold, and he even gets a supercharged dwarven gold mine that is gathered faster and has far more gold in later ages. What's more, you get a free dwarf with every armory upgrade you research, of which Thor gets 3 more than anyone else, and can research all of them at any age from his dwarven armory. When you're done teching up, Thor also gets the Hammer of Thunder for his Herseer, giving them more damage and more passive favor generation. If Thor sounds like the god for you, then try him out today in Age of Mythology Retold. AoM gods in a nutshell. Odin, god of war, magic, and power. Odin is all about his Great Hall units, the Herseer, Godi, raiding cavalry, and Jarl. All of these units generate more favor in combat, and all of Odin's human and hero units regenerate health constantly. Odin's unique tech also increases his berserk speed and their damage to myth units. With such a heavy focus on food-expensive units, Odin ensures that his economy can keep up with faster hunt-gather rates and his Great Hunt god power, which multiplies huntable animals, getting stronger with each age. Beyond that, Odin's 2 ravens, Hugin and Munin, repeatedly spawn from the temple to help you scout the battlefield. Nothing is hidden from Odin's eye. If Odin sounds like the god for you, then try him out today in Age of Mythology Retold. AoM gods in a nutshell. Loki, god of trickery and shapeshifting. If you need a place to get your gambling fix, then Loki is the god for you. As his soldiers and Herseers fight, Loki can spawn myth units to aid them, turning the tide of battle if you have his favor. Beyond the luck of the draw, Loki grants his followers extra counter damage, and his buildings are constructed more quickly. Loki's ox carts cost significantly less, and his gatherers and dwarves are cheaper to recruit into berserks. But by far the most annoying tools in Loki's kit are his Eye in the Forest, which significantly extends the vision of your scouts, as well as his Spy god power, which lets you watch everything your opponent does, especially if you cast it on one of his villagers. Show those non-believers Loki's glorious purpose. If Loki sounds like the god for you, then try him out today in Age of Mythology Retold. AoM gods in a nutshell. Freyr, god of fertility and kingship. Freyr is unique as the only defensive Norse major god. Not only are his repairs free, but his gatherers and dwarves can also repair buildings. Beyond that, Freyr's hill forts and hill fort units deal extra damage, while Freyr's gift boosts the hit points of all of his units. His technologies are significantly cheaper, but watch out as they take a lot longer to research. What Freyr is most well known for is his Gullimbursti god power, which spawns a giant boar at his town center. Already a menace even in the classical age, the Gullimbursti becomes a nigh unstoppable at later ages, mowing down entire armies with ease. With Freyr's power behind you, every battle becomes a feast of victory. If Freyr sounds like the god for you, then try him out today in Age of Mythology Retold. AoM gods in a nutshell. Kronos, ruler of the Titans. As the big bad of the first 2 campaigns, Kronos lives up to his reputation by being one of the most infuriating gods to face. Kronos receives 2 myth units instead of just 1 when aging up, and when paired with his increased construction speed near manors and ability to time shift his buildings across the map at a moment's notice, it can make for an insanely powerful rush. Even if you manage to beat back his swarms of myth units, Kronos receives a portion of the cost back when they die. On top of that, Kronos can use his time shift in reverse, completely undoing enemy buildings and breaking open even the strongest of fortified positions. Nothing can stand against the Titan of Time. If Kronos sounds like the god for you, then try him out today in Age of Mythology Retold. AoM gods in a nutshell. Oranos, Lord of the Skies. Oranos is all about mobility and line of sight, and he's one of the more complex gods in the game. Front and center in Oranos' kit is his Sky Passage, which can transport your entire army from one side of the map to the other in an instant. It's also amazing for keeping his citizens safe while hunting. On top of that, Oranos increases the speed of his infantry and grants all of his units extra line of sight. His oracles can also generate more favor, and damaged enemy units remain visible even after they've retreated. If you've ever played against Oranos though, you'll know that his signature move is his Shockwave. as it can completely disrupt your enemy's front line and stop a retreat cold in its tracks. Defeat is inevitable when you're facing the Lord of the Skies. If Oranos sounds like the god for you, then try him out today in Age of Mythology Retold. AoM gods in a nutshell. Gaia, goddess of the earth. Gaia is all about her economy, starting the match with 2 hero citizens for free and reducing the cost of heroizing other citizens. Beyond that, Gaia's economic guilds and technologies are significantly cheaper and can be researched an age earlier, giving Gaia an unparalleled early game economy. Her economic buildings also spread her lush, healing friendly units and buildings, and boosting the speed of all of her units traveling over it. Of course, Gaia's kit would not be complete without her forest god power, growing extra special trees that are gathered faster, and can be used to wall off choke points or just annoy your opponent by spamming them everywhere. Face Gaia and you'll learn that Mother Earth always has the final word. If Gaia sounds like the goddess for you, then try her out today in Age of Mythology Retold.